Okay, we're live. Uh, Probably one of the most constant things in life is that there's a surprise around every corner. And the other day when this was scheduled to be opened, I had other engagements that I was unaware of, so I had to reschedule, and it is going to be open this afternoon. This is a 1963 D roll of Lincoln cents from the Louisville branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. And with no further ado, I will get started since there is currently no audience. Let me get my bag real quick. Okay, I have an original roll of Lincoln cents here that no one's ever seen inside of. And if you listen, they are loose inside the roll. And the reason they're loose inside the roll is because these older rolls were not rolled tightly. Not like the newer rolls, not like these guys here. Okay, I've got my flips ready, numbered 1 through 50 for each of the 50 positions in the roll. And I have a bag full of name plates that I will put inside the draw bag. Here. All in. 50 positions. I've already counted them. I've already checked them over real carefully, and I know that we're good. You may notice that I'm not wearing gloves, and the reason I'm not wearing gloves is because I like to be able to feel the coins so I don't drop them or otherwise damage them because of the attempt to protect them. What I do instead is I wash my hands with antibacterial soap very well prior to beginning the opening. Hey JW, hey Robert, hey Donald. Don't have any spots left. This particular one is sold out. And so let me go ahead and get started on this. I have to pick the ends of these apart to make sure that the coins don't fly anywhere and they don't shift positions. I did look on the ends of this roll, and there is just a little bit of toning on each end. Well, on the end I can see. The other end has cardboard plaque in it, so that you can't see. Hey, Coin Junkie. Alright, I got this end opened. Now I'm going to open the other end. And open up the roll. There we go with the wrapper. Here's the little cardboard planchette that comes off the end. Now I've got my coins right here lined up ready to go. Let me tilt the camera up just a little bit more so it's easier to see. Okay. Got my coins here. I got my scope ready to go. So let's draw for coin number 1 and see who gets that toned roll end coin. It isn't really toned all that well. But anyhow, coin number 1 will belong to Bulldog. And let's see what's on it. With this roll, we're especially looking for double die obverse number 1. Double die obverse number 1 is going to be a... let me get my camera set here real quick. I can get my scope set up. I can get my scope set up really well before I started here. Put that on my checklist of things to do before I get started. But we're looking for, especially for double die obverse number 1, which is the 3 over low 3. And we're looking for any double dies or repunch mint marks. There are double dies on the obverse and reverse known for 1963D, including doubled I's, bar L's. There's a number of different things known for 1963D, so it is quite hopeful that there might be something good in here. Not seeing anything so far. Oh, let me flip it over. That could be a minor split serif repunch mint mark. There's your toning right there. Comes on the reverse side. And I'm not seeing a whole lot yet. Hello, Paula. But the color is really nice on the reverse of this coin. I just kind of wish the coin had been flipped around the other direction. Not seeing anything on coin number 1. Let's put this in here and give it to Bulldog. Now, I will be going back through these coins again prior to shipping them out to anyone. That's why I'm a little bit slow at getting these out, because I have to actually go through and attribute the entire roll and make sure that what I thought I saw is what I saw. Or I could perhaps find something that I didn't know about when we were going through the roll, because the scope that I've got here is not quite as good as my regular microscope. Coin number 2 belongs to J. Dowdle. Let's see what Mr. Dowdle gets in his. That does appear that it could be. I have to check that out real quick here. This could be a repunchment mark, so I'll have to look at it a little bit better. There's a divot on the rim there too, and that appears that it could be a Blakesley effect of some sort. But I don't see any clips. I don't see any other minting issues with the coin. Let me zoom in on this real quick and see if there's anything there that I'm kind of missing. Nope, not going to make it. Hang on just a second here. There we go. Get my lighting a little bit brighter. Yeah, I don't think I'm seeing anything on this. I thought maybe this was a split lower serif, but I'm not seeing it. Of course, I'm not seeing much of anything with my hands the way they are right now. Not behaving well. Here we go. Yep. Not seeing anything there. So let me zoom back out, flip over to the reverse, and see what's on the reverse of this one. And I'm not seeing any hub doubling on there. What I'm looking for is things to be stretched toward the rim, especially the designer's initials. And I look at the tops of the letters that are squared off to the rim, like the E in America, the F of, the T's in States, the tops of the letters in United, and especially the bottom stem of the N in 1. What we're looking for is distension, extra thickness toward the rim, or we can look for distortion, which would be separation toward the rim. So the difference there between a class 6 and a class 2 double die. Alright, Mr. Dowdle gets that coin number 2. And move on to coin number 3. Mr. McBride. Mr. McBride gets coin number 3. Let's see what's on it. Nice repunchment mark. Yay! We're getting somewhere. Cooking with gas now. Let me zoom in on that one. Don't know what die number this is. I didn't really study the die numbers closely or effectively prior to starting the broadcast, so I'm going to have to figure out which one it is. But that does look like a nice listable repunchment mark right there. Looks like it could be a triple. Looks like there could be another serif down below the primary serif, and you know there's one above the primary. That's definitely a decent repunchment mark. That's going to be a listable one, and it should already be listed. I'll be able to find it in Kaneka files and in my files. And we can remember this one because of the fancy little die scratch that's running east and west just above the mint mark. There's other die scratches running east and west. Oh, there's a nifty one coming right out of the tip of the nose and right out of the top lip. We'll be able to figure out other coins from this die real quickly and easily. There's a huge gouge down below the bust running along the bottom of the bust. That thing is nothing right there. That's just part of how the coin was minted. Well, let's flip it over on the reverse. There's always still a chance that we can have a double die reverse on this. And so far I'm seeing nothing. No double die. Alright, so let me move on. There you go, Mr. McBride. You got yourself a repunch mint mark from 1963D. 63D repunch mint marks are not very plentiful, and there's not a whole lot of them known, and they aren't extremely easy to find. They're not like 60 and 61, where there tend to be a lot of them. Alright, next coin will belong to Cajun Coin Hunter. Yeah, let's see what we got here. There's another one of them. Same repunch mint mark. No? Wait a minute. Yeah, it's the same repunch mint mark. Nice split upper, nice split lower, and that split upper looks like it's tripled. In this light, it appears as I can get a pretty good zoom on tripling. It could be tripling. Still need to find myself a little flashlight to use to squirt into the side here and take a look at things from the side. I don't know if my phone would work for that, but we can try it. Always worth a shot. It kind of works. But it's a little sparkly. Not the right kind of light, but I do think I see a tripled lower serif there. So there we go. That's the first die. Second coin. It's a die variety in this particular roll. I did not check the reverse on that. I didn't check it because we already know what the reverse of the other one looks like. And if there happens to be a change in reverse in this RPM, I will definitely be able to tell you what you've got. Oh, there's Cajun again. What do you know? We'll definitely be able to tell you what you've got when I go through the roll later. So here's coin number 5. This one's Cajun again. Let me zoom out on this, but it appears as though this one is a nothing. Let me go ahead and zoom out. I could be missing anything else that could be bigger somewhere else. That appears to be a line of slight damage across the mint mark. It doesn't appear to be a repunch mint mark right now, but I'll take a look at it later, and for sure, I'll let you know. Let's see. I'm also looking for some more minor doubling in the inside of the 3. The one with the huge doubling in the lower part of the 3 is not the only double die known in the 3 of the date. There's at least a couple of others. But I see nothing on this particular die. Let's take a look on the reverse. We have a spot on the coin. We have grease-filled die and the T of United. Not really seeing anything else on this one. Yeah, we have a no premium value coin. Luck of the draw. There you go, Cajun. You got yourself a nice RPM, and well, you got yourself a 1963D Lincoln Cent. It's just how it works out. There we go, coin number 5. Let's draw for coin number 6. Hi, Bill. Hello, Mr. Dowdle. Got it on your Bluetooth speaker for the ride home. I'm not taking requests for music, but Dana B. So coin number 6 belongs to Dana. And what do we have here? I am not seeing anything. Nothing of measure here. That may have a doubled eyelid. Let's take a better look at it here. Spin it around till I can get the shadows to show up just right. See that right there? That looks like it could be a doubled eyelid. That little white thing out in front of the eyelid there. Let me zoom in on it and see if I can get a better look at it here. I gotta get it into the right place. Right area here. Yes, we have a doubled eyelid. There's a doubled eyelid, doubled die. I have a few of those listed for 63D. Let me mess with the lighting here just a little bit to get it dimmed down so that you can see what I'm talking about. So that's an extra eyelid sticking up right in front of the eyeball there. It's a Light to moderate hubbing with a light to moderate spread from the primary eyelid. Shouldn't be difficult to find if I've already got it listed, and if I don't, I'll get it listed. So there we go. We are definitely going to have to watch these eyes because there could be more of these in this roll for sure. Let me get my lighting back up just a little bit here, and let's look for markers. That way we can be sure of what we're finding. Let's see. We have some rather strong die scratches coming out of the front of the face, going to the northeast. I see a few die scratches there on the top of the vest, and from the front of the vest to the one of the date. So perhaps that'll help us remember this one. Oh, there's a nice die gouge, or is that a crack? I think it's a die gouge. Okay, I need to zoom in on this real quick, just to see exactly what it is. That is a die gouge. I'm trying to get it perfectly focused here. There it is. Right there, that thing, that's a die gouge below the bust to the rim. Now when I zoom out, you'll be able to see it again because you know exactly what you're looking for. And zoom out. See it there? Saw that little thing passing by it. There it is. You can see it pretty well there. So there's a die gouge next to the B of the initials on the obverse. I haven't looked at the reverse in this die yet. Let's see what the other side has to show us. Ooh. Not seeing anything on this side. But, hey, got a doubled eyelid out of it. Okay. There we go, Dana. Some chance this could be a new die. Some chance. Alright. Coin number 7. Hello, Adrian. Coin number 7 will be to Copper Kingdom. Copper Kingdom is a new participant in this little sport we've got going on here. Let's see if we can pick something nice for him. Let's see. Well, so far I'm not seeing anything. Nothing on the date or mint mark that I can see. This is a doubled eyelid. Is it the same doubled eyelid or is it a different one? It appears to be a different one. Let's look for that die gouge next to the B, and it's not there. So this is a different one. If it is one, let me check to be sure in fact that it is. And get that lighting just right. Get it in focus just right. I'm at the very end of my ability to focus here. My equipment is not agreeing with me. Let's see here. Maybe it isn't a double eyelid. Because now I can't get it to show up. And that last one I got to show up really well. I thought I was looking at a doubled eyelid. See that slightly lighter thing in the black area there? I was trying to get good focus on that to see if it was an extra eyelid, but I don't think it is. See it right there? I thought I was finding a doubled eyelid, but it appears as though I probably wasn't at this point. See if I can get it to show up, turning it around in the brighter light. See that right there? That looks like a doubled eyelid to me. I've got to move things around just a little bit. Sorry, folks. I've got to release the hounds here. There we go. I was too high up on my stick and I couldn't get focused perfectly in the in this mode. I need to be able to focus in this mode to be able to see exactly what I'm looking for here. I just don't see it when I guess I can see it just a little bit, but this isn't going to be listable. It's too minor. So if it is a doubled eyelid, I'm not going to be able to list it because there's just not enough there, I don't think. But I'll take a quick good glance at it before I pack it up, send it off. Be sure what I have there is not something I can use for the website for sure. Let's look at the reverse and see if there's anything more exciting on the reverse. There are a number of double die reverses known for 1963, but most of them are on the Philadelphia Mint. And oddly enough, all the dies were made in Philadelphia at that point in time, so it doesn't mean that we can't find them on Denver. It's just that they don't seem to be as common on Denver as they are on the Philadelphia. So there's Copper Kingdom's coin. I'll learn how to say that name without stuttering. And you too can say Copper Kingdom without stuttering. Alright. Well, Dana gets the next coin on the list. And let's see what Dana... Oh, look at that. That has... Wait a minute. There's fuzz on it. I grab a clean Q-tip and brush that off of there real quick so we can see what we got going on. There we go. I at least moved it. That's a nice repunch mint mark there. Look at the upper serif and how split that is. That's sweet. Yep, that's going to be one of the major ones. Let's see. Yeah, we can see that real well. There we go. Dana gets a nice one. Congratulations, Dana. Hey, Coin Dragon. Nice repunch mint mark there. Let's see if it has anything else on it. I'm pretty sure with a spread like this, we'll recognize the next one that pops up. But just in case it wants to try to fool us, let's look for a marker too. That's why I keep sliding all around, getting everybody here drunk. Looking for a good marker. Those aren't on the coin. Those are like, they're fibers actually from the paper that they use to wrap the coins. So I have to look around the fibers to see if I can find anything in the metal that's going to repeat to the next coin. I don't see anything on here. I don't really see any markers right off the bat. There's a little pattern of die scratches. Ah, here we go. There's a good marker. It's a heavier die scratch on the inside tail of the 9. Right. See if I can get it to light up real good. Well, it's right above the tip of the 9. Right there. You can kind of see it just a little bit. Just above the tip on the inside of the 9, pointed toward the 1. There's also one, as Paula mentions, there's a vertical one right between the 1 and the 9 right there. Not sure how well that's going to hold up because it looks kind of thin. But these other ones, above the 1, between the 1 and the 9, and on the inside of the 9, those are going to hold up pretty well. So there's that one again. It looks like a distorted D mint mark, but you can see that there's serifs down below and there's serifs up above. Got a pretty one. Alright, let me zoom back out. We have not seen the rest of this design nor the reverse, so let's take a look around here real quick and see if we've got anything else that goes with this. Always have to check everything just to be sure. There's some chance that's a double eyelid. Kind of looking at it, looks like it could be. Let's zoom in real quick, see what we see. I have to get it turned so the light shines on it just right. Trying to get it out of the shadow here. Alright, now let me change my lighting. No. Thought I was looking at a doubled eyelid, and it doesn't appear as though I am. If I was, I'd be seeing 2 areas of shine in front of the eye, and I just don't see that. So, it was an anomaly. Hi, Victoria. Is today Friday? I don't notice. I work 7 days a week, so I never notice. Let's see. I can get this back in focus here. Let's take a look around the reverse and see what we see on the reverse of this nice repunched mint mark. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the reverse. It's a decent coin. There's a nice die marker there, that long die scratch running through the N and I of United. That's all I get. So there's Dana's coin number 8. Let's take a look at coin number 9 right after I figure out who it's going to belong to. I miss everybody when they're not around. This one's Dana's as well. What do you know? Let's see what Dana got this time. Well, so again, I'm looking inside the 3 for any extra bits of a 3. I'm looking at the mint mark for a repunch mint mark, which in this particular case I'm not seeing. And I swing over to the L of Liberty and I look for any junk underneath the L of Liberty that could be a second L, and I don't see anything there. And then I check In God We Trust real quick to make sure that there's not any doubling up there that I could see. Okay, this is one of those end of trust double dies. This is a double die, but it is a minor double die, and I do not list these. But I will zoom in on this, and I will show you what it is. Looky there. Oh, hang on. Let me get this thing perfectly focused. Sorry about the idiot string pulling here. There we go. That right there is the extra edge of a horizontal bar of a T in trust. These are listable to some people, but they are not listable to me. Hey, Jess. Hey, Bingo Brian. But if we already have it listed as a carryover from somebody else's system, I will be sure to let you know what die number it is. But I'm not listing these, especially for what they are at this point, because they're just too minor. But that is a little double die right there. Alright. Now we got that little piece of... See how I saw that right there? That little tiny black line? That's what let me in. I knew that's what that was. It's part of doing the roll review, or roll reveal, I'm sorry, is that I've been doing this stuff for many, many years. And given that I've been doing it for many, many years, I can pull out coins in a roll that you may have missed. And I can be sure that you're going to get the right die number, because if it's not listed in my system, I list it in my system. Take photographs of the coin, and if you happen to be the one with the best condition coin in the roll for that particular die, I take photos of your coin, put it on the website to credit you. There's bingo. You're in time, buddy. Here's your first coin. Hey, there's one of those ones that the other guys got. Nice split upper serif and a decent split lower serif with die scratches running east and west through the date area. Chucky needs to zoom in on this a little bit better. Get his, there we go. Get his focus together. Get it together, Chuck. Alright. And there's your east and west die scratches running through Liberty. And The rest of the design shows me nothing special. Let's take a quick peek on the reverse just to be sure that we didn't miss a double die on the last one that we saw. Doesn't appear so. Now on the reverse here, I'm looking for doubling in the sense of extra thickness toward the rim on all of the outer lettering. I'm also looking, that would be a distended hub doubling or a class 6, and I'm also looking for distortion with separation line toward the rim. That would be distorted hub doubling or class 2 hub doubling. Bingo gets himself a nice RPM here. Pat yourself on the back, brother. Got yourself a nice one. Coin number 11. Also belongs to Bingo. Well, now let's see if we can just do 2 in a row, nice ones, and get him a different die here. Oh, bummer. Not gonna happen. This one looks like it's a normal. It could be a doubled eyelid. Is it? No, not a doubled eyelid. Let's see what we got over here under Liberty. Nothing. And nothing else up my sleeve over here. A slightly weak strike there, as is evidenced by sort of a lack of a rim. Let's see what we got going on down here, if there's anything signifying why we have a lack of the rim on the upper side. Nothing there. Let's look at the reverse and see what's going on there. Later die state reverse. That little bit on the C, the E and the C there, that's not hub doubling. That's a form of machine doubling. It's die chatter. We'll zoom in on it real quick and take a look at it. Explain why it's not hub doubling. Oh yeah, a little bit of time. See that right there? See how the design was dragged? All the little striations there that show that it was dragged. And then you don't have any notching at the corner of the letter. So it kind of looks like hub doubling, but it isn't. You also notice how the bottom of the C, if you look at the primary piece and the secondary piece, together they make the normal shape of a C. And with a double die, there would be extra thickness down there. So that's what it looks like when you find machine doubling like that. On here you can also see that it's repeated on the E. It should be repeated on the inside of the O. There it is. Repeated on the inside of the O. But there's nothing else on this one. This is a normal reverse. So it looks like Bingo didn't get 2 in a row. Let's see. Get things situated here so my coins don't start sliding off the edge of the desk. Let's see who gets coin number 12. Coin number 12, the Cajun Coin Hunter. Cajun Coin Hunter gets a normal coin. This is the same die that we just looked at with Bingo Brian. It's the exact same die. Got just a little tiny flake of lamination going on up there on the end. Oh, I remember what this one is. Or maybe not. No, it's not. Okay. Forgive the rambling. I'm used to doing this without talking to anyone. Yeah, reverse is going to show us that it's normal. Here's another good pickup on why that was normal. It was machine doubling. Because this coin was from the same die, minted within minutes of the other, and it has no doubling evident at all on the lettering on the lower part of the coin. Now if this had been a true hub doubled die, every coin minted by this die would have the same doubling. But we see this one has none, and it's the same die as the last one where we saw what appeared to be doubling. There's a good sign for you right there that it is machine doubling, because it's not repeatable. And there's a coin for Cajun. And let's move on to lucky coin number 13. Belongs to Bingo. Thick letters can be a double die because The hubs can become warped during use or through use on dies, and if they become warped, the design is stretched out beyond where it should be. When you hub the die or another die with that same hub, you end up with a design that turns out doubled simply because the elements are not in the exact same spot that they were last time the die was hubbed, which to an effect gives us what we call doubling. Now, whether that doubling has separation lines or notching at the corners of the letters depends on how the doubling occurred. But in the sense of doubling where you get extra thick lettering, you're not going to get the notching because it's basically kind of like mashing down Play-Doh. The more you mash it down, the thicker it gets, but you don't actually have any outlay of separate elements. I sure hope that made sense. Alright, let's look at the reverse. We didn't see anything on the obverse. And it looks like we may be ending up here with a roll that has nothing on any of the reverses because we're 13 coins through the roll and haven't found anything yet. We've got one doubled eyelid. We've got two different repunch mint marks, I do believe. Two different ones. Nope, we got three different ones. I think there's three different ones. Now I can't remember. We'll figure it out when I go back through the roll, though. Let's see who belongs to coin number 14. Coin number 14 belongs to Mr. McBride. Alright, let's look at coin number 14 for Mr. McBride and see what's there. Yeah, so far I'm not seeing anything. These little tail ends, that thing on the bottom serif of the D, is pretty normal for the D used in 1963. 62 and 63 they used the same D mint mark. 64 they changed again, I believe. Seeing something that could be on the inside of the mint mark here. Get it leveled up so I can see if that's doubling or see if it's just part of the bevel. Looks like it might have just been part of the bevel. I was seeing a line on the inside of the mint mark thinking it could be an RPM, but I'm not seeing it now. Nah, it was just part of the bevel. Unfortunately, we have a dud mint mark. It's normal. They didn't make a mistake. How dare they? Got a little tiny bit of lamination going on over there on the edge underneath the L. No hub doubling there or there or there or there or there. So we have a normal coin on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what it brings us. Oh, nothing of interest here. Mr. McBride gets a normal 1963 D Lincoln cent. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't fluff anything. If it's nothing, I'm going to say it's nothing. Next one belongs to Bingo. The reason I move the coin around underneath the scope is because I want the light to hit the corners of things in all directions so that I can be sure of what I am seeing or what I might be able to see. I want to get a good full view of everything to be sure of what I am or am not seeing. It's like right here, I think I see a doubled eyelid, but I have to get it turned around so that I can see a little bit better to see whether that changes. If it doesn't change, it's probably a spot on the coin. But if it changes, like it did right there, the lighting hitting it better, that's a doubled eyelid. That right there is a doubled die. So we'll zoom in on it and take a better look at it. This one is probably the same die as the one I found earlier, but we will have to check. And you see how it's raised right there? You can see the light hitting it, and the way the light hits it tells you that that's a raised bump on the coin. Let me get it focused in. Then let me change the light around a little bit. See if we can get it. You can see how the sun sets on it there. So this is definitely a double die lid. It's probably the same double die lid, there we go, that I found earlier in the roll. It looks like it is. Now that thing on the nose, that's going to be a form of doubling that you see very commonly on Lincoln scents. You'll also see it on the lip, on the upper lip. You'll also see it in the throat and on the front of the vest. It's very common, and I believe it's part of the design reduction from the what back then was called the Galvano down to the master hub level. It had something to do with the little thing, the little stylus that traced the design of the coin and it bouncing or something. It happens a lot on the wheat cents and the earlier memorial cents. And I've gotten so used to looking at it, I just skip right over it. There's a little bit of lamination going on with a little fleck of metal coming off the coin. Those are rather common, by the way. That's why I'm not stopping and discussing it a whole lot. But there we have a double die lid for Bingo. Bingo Brian gets a double die lid. Yay! I want to find DDO number 1. I would love to find DDO number 1. I'd love to spread the wealth with everybody. Let's see what we got here. Number 16 will belong to. Stirring them up really good. Bingo, again. Bingo did go a little wild on this roll. But he'll get pretty much everything different in this roll if he bought enough spots, you know. Let me turn my lighting around just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so it's not so darn bright. That's part of the problem, is there's very little diffusion with this light. I probably need to do the washer trick. This one's slightly softly struck. You can see the letters are merging in with the rim. That's going to be almost normal for anything from 1965 on up. It's a little less common for 1963, but I can tell you that it is nothing special. It doesn't really affect the grade of the coin going up. Going down. It will affect it a little bit going up, because once you get up to 67 level, you have to have a nice solid strike. And this is an indicator that it is not a nice solid strike. See, there's more of that machine doubling on the bottom of the C and the bottom of the E right there. Not a double die. Okay. Got nothing going on here. Well, Bingo, you got yourself another normal 1963 decent. Let's see what happens with the rest of your draws. Next coin will belong to Mr. McBride. It's coin number 17. I need to get these up here so I can... They should be tilted so I can read them. It's coin number 17, Mr. McBride. I'll make sure that I get these all straight and completely carefree, that I have put everything together properly. And when time to package, all I gotta do is separate them by name, and I've got all the right coins in the right places. Almost thinking there was a song, something close to that. All the right coins in all the right places. If there wasn't one, we should have one. Nothing there. Let's look at the reverse. See if we have anything there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm thinking we're going to end up with a roll full of reverse duds here. Now, this particular roll is the first roll out of a 50-roll box that are all original bank wrapped rolls. So we may be able to open one of these again sometime and get other people involved in the same dies. Levels of Madness gets this one. That's coin number 18 for Levels of Madness. Let's take a quick look at the obverse. I want a BAM Can we have a BAM? No, not this time around. It looks like we might have a minor repunchment mark going on here. Let me zoom in with the lighting just like this because it appears as though I've got it lit just about as good as it's going to get. Is that damage on the mint mark or is that a doubled mint mark? Let's get a really good look at it. I'm going to go with damage, and if it's doubled, it's not doubled enough to really worry about it. There's what we got there. The doubled faces are generally, you're going to see a lot of that minor doubling along the front edge of the face and the front edge of the vest and whatnot. Guaranteed it's nothing. I've never seen actual hub doubling running along the front of the face. Let's check for the doubled eyelid real quick. What happened to my lighting? What is going on here? There. It might be a little dark, but at least it's not overflash. I hate overflash light. Well, I can't really look at it this way. Now everything's doubled. Ugh. No, the doubling along the face is not dye deterioration. It has something to do with how the design was placed into the die or into the hub. It's very common. It shows on a lot of the wheat cent issues and the early memorial issues. It could be wear on the master die, but it's not die wear as we call it. It's not machine doubling. Next one, Copper Kingdom. Sometimes it is machine doubling, but not when it has that rounded hump character to it. I'll show it to you again. Here's one of our repunchment marks. This is the first repunchment mark I found in the roll. This is just another example of that one. I'm going to zoom in on it for the people who just showed up. It is a pretty nice repunchment mark. A pretty upper split serif, and we have a pretty lower split serif too. Turn my lighting, get it a little bit brighter so you can see. Nice one! Who belongs to this? Copper Kingdom. Copper Kingdom got himself a nice repunchment mark there. Okay. We know the rest of this die was going to have nothing on it because it's the same repunchment mark we've seen at least 2 or 3 times now. And I doubt that I missed anything on it, because I'm doing a pretty good thorough search here. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Just a real quick poke around the reverse to check real fast for any doubling that may have been missed before. And, well, didn't miss anything before. Now we'll move on to coin number 20. Oh, see you later, Dana. Boss showed up. Mr. McBride. Mr. McBride gets the next one. Let's see what's on it. Is it? Could it be? I don't think so. Doesn't look like there's anything on this one. Not the way I'm currently looking at it. So let's check the L in Liberty for anything. Nothing. Let's see about the possibility of a doubled I. Nope. No doubling on the I. I've got to turn this lighting up a little bit more. There we go. Just can't see enough of the thickness of the letters. And that's one of my major ways that I tell if a coin is a double die. Okay, we're going to use the S in trust here as an example. This is actually a weaker strike, which is why the S is extra thick. But if this were a nice strong strike and I ran across an S that looked like that, I'd want to take a closer look because it looks like that upper curve of the S is extra thick to the east and west. And if you follow it on down to the lower curve, you'll see how it's thinner. Well, the reason on this particular coin is because it's a weak strike. But if it were a normal strike, it would it would warrant taking a closer look at the coin to see if there might be any hub doubling on it. Jeremy, no sir, no slots available on them. No slots available on rolls once I start opening them. Once they've already been opened, we don't do any more slots. Anything that's not purchased stays with the house. And this one is sold out. This is a 50 coin sellout. In most cases, yes, Bingo Brian, most of the letters would be thick with the S. In this particular case, because it is a slightly weaker strike, it can show up, manifest itself in many different ways. Let's take a look at who gets the next coin in the roll. This is number 21, belongs to Copper Kingdom. And Copper Kingdom gets, what do we have here? Looks like a normal mint mark. Like nothing on the 3. Nothing on the L. God We Trust looks normal. The other thing that we have to keep in mind is that when you're trying to compare, looks like a doubled eyelid. Hang on a second. When you're trying to compare specific letters, do not compare them to a different issue. Do not compare a 1963 Lincoln with a 1987 Lincoln. It simply won't work. That is a minor doubled eyelid. I think this is the same die I ran into earlier and I couldn't get it to show up. It's going to be a minor eyelid, but I think it's going to be too minor to bother. It's that little tiny little thing sticking up right in front of the eyeball. You can see it right there. It's real small. And we're going to call this one probably normal unless it's already listed. And on the reverse, we're showing... Oh, hang on a second here. Once again, nothing at all. All right. So, Copper Kingdom gets what is a very normal coin with a possible small doubled eyelid. Mr. McBride gets the next one. Bingo, brother, that's why I'm doing this for you guys, because I'm not going to miss this stuff. I've been doing this stuff for a long, long time. The only things that I'm missing here are things I can't see in this lighting, and I'll catch it on the microscope on the way out. Got nothing on the 1963 or the D. Got nothing on the L. Got nothing in God We Trust. Not a split eyelid. Let's check the reverse. Slightly weak strike. Well, actually, most of the strike is actually pretty nice. So we got a little bit of weakness in United. So there's a bunch of muckety-muck going on in the field over there, little modeling things. Looks like little tiny pits all over the coin. And then look at the U in United and the N in United and see how it's a little bit weak. We had a very slight weakness in the strike over there. Well, that's all we got there. This is another normal coin. This is coin number 22 belonging to Mr. McBride. Now for coin number 23, who we're going to draw. Mr. McBride. Let's see if we can do better with this one. Ugh. Really? Looks like another normal mint mark and date. Normal L. And God We Trust looks normal. Flip it around and check it. Check the eye. Got nothing on the eye. Check the reverse. Got nothing on the reverse. Alright, Mr. McBride ends up with a normal coin out of that little deal. Let's see what we can pull up next. Bingo! Bingo gets the next one. What happens here? Looks like another normal mint mark. Normal date. Appears to be a normal Liberty. Let's see. Could be looking at a doubled eyelid there. That might be one of the doubled eyelids. Let me zoom in on it and check. That's the way to look at it, brother. Woohoo! Got a 1963D. You're a winner. Got a 1963D Lincoln Cent. Not a doubled eyelid. And nothing up my sleeve. This is, I believe, one of the ones that has the doubling on the edge of the T. Yeah, it is. It's there. It's hiding behind a spot, but you can see it barely. Thanks, Beth. Thank you for stopping by. Nothing on the reverse. So I'm going to yank this one out, put it in a flip, put Bingo's name with it. That's coin number 24. Coin number 25 will belong to Copper Kingdom. Copper Kingdom gets this one, and what is on this? I'm going to bring it into the mint mark first. Ah, there we go. Is that's one of the ones? Yeah, that's one of the initial ones that I found with the heavy die scratch over the D. So that's nice. Got a little bit of damage on the date. There's not going to be any doubling anywhere else on this coin because we've already been through a few of these. Just a real quick cursory check to be sure that we haven't changed dies here. Nope. That is one of the nice repunch mint marks. Congratulations, Copper Kingdom, the very middle coin in the roll, number 25. Well, there isn't a middle coin, but we know what we're talking about here. This is the last coin in the first half of the roll. Belongs to Copper Kingdom, and it came out to be a nice repunch mint mark. Penny says she already knows what die it is, but you put a link there and we can't see the end of it. What's the number? Levels of Madness gets the next one. Well, let's see what we got here. Ooh, this is another pretty nice repunch mint mark. It's got doubling on the upper serif for sure. I don't know that we've seen this one yet. This could be one we haven't seen. Let's turn the light up a little bit. Turn the light down low. Let's see. There it is. Nice little split on the upper serif there. Looks like we have a little bit extra going on in the inside of the mint mark too here. A little bit of an extra curve going on there. Bingo, I am aware of those errors and I apologize, but it's in the code and the server is incompatible with the website at this point because the website is 20 years old and the server is 2 years old. And the server doesn't like the website, and so we're getting errors, and until I can redevelop the website into a newer version, we're going to continue getting those errors, but it will not hamper your ability to search for dies and get information off the website. It's just a hindrance. And nothing on the reverse on this one, as it appears. We did have a nice repunch mint mark, and it appears that it could be the first repunch mint mark of that die in this roll. So Levels of Madness gets one. Coin number 26. First coin of the second half of the roll. Coin number 27 will belong to Levels of Madness. Let's see what Levels of Madness comes out with on coin number 27. What do we have here? We have a coin that's out of focus because I need to adjust my scope. And it appears as though we've got nothing big going on here. See, there's more of that doubling on the front of the tie and in front of the throat. It's very, very common. Happens a lot. Nothing on the obverse on this coin. Let's check out the reverse real quick. This is probably one of the normal dies. We got a die crack between the M and the E of America. We got a die crack between the I and the C of America. Which probably means we got little die cracks running in different areas around the reverse, because it appears that this one is a rather old reverse ready for retirement. But the important part of this little hat trick is that there is no doubling on the reverse of this coin. So we have a normal coin for Levels of Madness. And on to coin number 28. Let's see who belongs to coin number 28. Hello, Mr. Betts. 28 belongs to Levels of Madness as well. I don't think Mr. Betts got any spots on this roll. We do have some nice repunchment marks coming out of this. A couple of repunchment marks anyway. Not this one. This one is normal coin, as it appears. I will be doing, although it is late, because I said that I would be doing the 46S roll today. I was late on getting this one done, so I'm doing this one today. And to keep you guys from watching hours worth of opening rolls in one day, I'm going to be doing the 1946S roll tomorrow. I've got it scheduled for tomorrow, I believe, at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be a big one, because, well, that's a really expensive roll. And they're really scarce. You just don't find them that much anymore. Levels of Madness belongs to the next coin as well. What do you know? Levels of Madness is just pulling them all out of here. Let's see. Well, I'm not seeing much anything on this one. Nothing on Liberty. Nothing on In God We Trust. It's not a double die lid. Let's check the reverse real quick. Very late reverse. I'm not seeing any doubling on it. No doubling on that very late reverse. So we've got a normal coin for Levels of Madness. And coin number 29. Now, coin number 30 goes to Bingo. There's Bingo's next coin right there. Is that a minor? Yeah, it is. It's a minor split serif. This appears to be one of those, it is. It's one of those mint marks that's the initial die I found in the roll. It's a heavy die scratch between the lower 6 and 3 of the date. It's another marker we can pick up on this one. That'll be one of the markers I use in the photos if I have to take photos of this die. But we already do know that whatever came out of these, it's going to be the same from coin to coin. And so this is a repunchment mark and nothing else, but it is a nice one. Congratulations to Mr. Bingo. How many of those you've got now? Coin number 31 will belong to Mr. Dowdle. James Dowdle. What do we have for you? Oh, there's another one of them right there. It's exactly the same die as the last coin I picked out, although this one has a little few spots on it here and there. That's the same repunchment mark. It's got the same die scratches, the same spread as Mr. Bingo Bryan's coin that I just picked out. Looks like we're going to end up with quite a few of these in this roll. Let's look at coin number 32. Coin number 32 will belong to Levels of Madness. And Levels of Madness, what do we pick out of here for you? Wow. Well, let's see. We got nothing on the mint mark, nothing on the date. We do have a doubled eyelid. You can see it right there. So this is one of the doubled eyelids in the roll. Right there you can see it. Alright, well we know what's on the rest of this one because we've been hitting this die off and on too. This one's got the little doubling next to the T of trust, and that will be mentioned as a marker with the doubled eyelid. Because it is hub doubling. It's just nothing really to be excited about, I guess. Except that we have a definitive marker for that die. Alright. So, we've got a doubled eyelid for Levels of Madness and coin number 32. Let's draw for coin number 33 and see what happens. Coin number 33 will belong to Bingo. What we got, Bingo? Oh. Nothing at all. Let's flip it over. And we have still nothing at all. So a normal coin pops out of the roll, as can be expected. I mean, it is a roll of coins, right? After all, it's not a roll of RPMs, it's a roll of coins that happens to have RPMs. So coin number 34 will go to Levels of Madness. Seems like you two are just swapping spots here. See what we got for Levels of Madness. See who gets the next one. Well, Levels of Madness did, because that's one right there. I believe. Is it? Maybe not. Let me zoom in on this and see what we got going on right there. It looks like it was a double lower serif, but I may have just been mistaken on this one. Hang on a second. Let me get myself situated here. I got to get it turned around so that I can see the serifs. No. Nothing there. Alright, let's zoom back out. Take a look at the rest of the obverse of the coin. Oh, let's check for that doubled eyelid. We do not have a doubled eyelid. Alright, Scotty, beam me up. Nothing to see here. Nothing on the reverse, just as we've been finding with all the other coins that we've seen in this roll. There's nothing on the reverse on these. That's right. Majority of the time the mint does get it right. That's why it's always so fun to hunt for the times they don't. Next one is Mr. McBride. Let's see what we've got here. Mr. McBride got himself a nice RPM. It's another one of those. It's the same as the first coin I pulled out of the first RPM I pulled out. We're going to call this roll RPM number 1. We don't know what RPM number it is right off, unless Penny Parent happens to already know. But this is the first RPM that we found in this roll. And I think by now we've probably come by close to 10 of them. It's a nice one, though. And that one belongs to Mr. McBride. Everybody wins! Now these 1963D RPMs that we're finding, the, hello Rhonda. This one also belongs to Mr. McBride. They're generally going to run choice to gem BU in grade, and they're generally going to have a value of about $3 to $5 a piece. There's another one. For Mr. McBride, that's a duplicate right there. We know that because we just pulled this die out of the roll. So there's another RPM for Mr. McBride. Let's pop this one in a flip and keep going. That's coin number 36. Now for coin number 37. This might entice some of you people to get involved. Here's Bingo. Bingo gets another one. And what does he get? He gets a coin with a hair right over the top of the mint mark. Those little fibers. Tip my Q-tip to it real quick. Wipe it one time. Comes right off. There's a little fiber sitting on the coin. And no double eyelid, so we've basically got nothing going on this one. No, Brian, it's not. No, it's not. These are fiberliciousness coming off of the wrapper because they used that kind of like craft paper, butcher paper for wrappers back then, and they shed like dogs. There we go. Our number 38 will belong to Copper Kingdom. Number 38 for Copper Kingdom. Let's see what we've got here. Am I correct to say that we've run into a repunch mint mark that we only had one of, and it was a nice one? And then another one that was a pretty nice one that we only ran into one of? What is that sticking up out of the top of the D? That's kind of weird. Let me take a good close look at that. I always go in the wrong direction when I'm going to focus. I do not know why. That is something sticking up out of the top of the mint mark there. Right up out of the... It's like if you look at the inside of the D, the very far right-hand part of the D, there's something sticking up on top of the mint mark right there. This could prove to be a repunch mint mark. There is a minor split upper serif, but I wouldn't list that. I will have to take a good heavy look at it later when I can get it under my regular scope. And let's see, what else do we have here? Well, it looks like we have nothing but a 1963 D Lincoln Cent. Made in the Mile High City. 1963 happens to be the year that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. It also happens to be one of the first years the United States was involved in the Vietnam War. It happens to be the year that one of the most famous muscle cars in history was initially designed, and that would be the Mustang. They did a concept car in 1963, and they didn't issue the first ones till mid-year 1964. Let's see, what else do I know about 1963? Well, I know that I wasn't around yet. My mother and father were juniors in high school that year. This one's a normal coin. "3 years before you" is also 3 years before my brother. Shout out to Daryl O'Neill. The brother I did not know I had until 2 years ago. And we've learned a lot about each other since then, and I'm happy to have a brother. Alright, number 40 will belong to Cajun Coin Hunter. Let's see what's on it. See if I can think of any other 63 things. Hey, there's one of those. Nice split upper serif going on there. This is the newer one. Well, I finally found one of these so far. This would be the second one. It's not a double eyelid. Or is it? No, not a double eyelid. No other doubling on the coin, but it is a nice upper split serif RPM. See what's on the other side just to be sure that we didn't miss something last time, because we've only seen this die once. Oh, look at that scratch. That's a heck of a die gouge right there. That's going to mark that die really well. I am ever so slightly out of focus, aren't I? There we go. There's a little bit of good, Chuck, if everybody can actually see what you're trying to show them. Alright, so we do have an RPM here. Well, let's find out who belongs to coin number 41. How many die pairs for 1963? Oh my gosh, a ton. Here's Bingo Brian. My best guess is that there were somewhere between 300 and 500 different die pairs used for 1963 Lincoln cents. Here's a nice one. This is... okay. This is a slightly damaged version of the same RPM that we've been pulling out of the roll since the beginning. Slightly damaged being that it has a hit on the D that kind of gives it a little wonky look. But it is one of those RPMs that we've been finding since pretty much the beginning of the roll. Bingo now has at least 2 or 3 of these. Let's see who gets number 42. Mr. Dowdle. Mr. Dowdle belongs to coin number 42. Let's see what he gets. There's another one of those upper split serifs. It's the same as the other one that I just pulled. Not the last one I pulled, but the other nice one that I pulled. Who was that? Cajun Coin Hunter got that one. So this is the same die again. So we're running into those now. This is, I think, the third one in the roll. 3 or 4 maybe. Nothing else up my sleeve. Nothing going on here. So that one belongs to Mr. Dowdle. That's coin number 42. Now for coin number 43. Bulldog. Bulldog got 4 spots in this roll, and I think I pulled him twice now. And it is... I think I pulled a nothing last time for him, and, well, unfortunately, I think I got a nothing this time, too. Not a double die lid, not a repunchment mark. Not a double die. And... interesting little lamination going on there on the E of America. Actually, it's separated. An entire bit is separated from the coin. It's just laying there. That's the top of the E, basically broken off. Nothing else special on this one, but I'm going to be very careful with it to be sure that little bit of the E stays on there and doesn't come off. Because that's an interesting little thing. I don't think it has a whole lot of value, but it's interesting. Value is in the eye of the beholder. To me, it's priceless. How does it happen? It's a little bit of lamination, and when the coin is struck, the metal flows up into the cavity of the die, and the lamination breaks free, and the piece just falls out onto the coin, and it gets wrapped. And if that had been circulated, that thing would have broken away a long time ago. The only reason it was still there is because it was on an uncirculated coin. Alright, Mr. McBride belongs to the next coin, number 44. What do we got? Well, it appears normal. This one is one of the double eyelids, I bet you. Look at that T. See the T? Now we're going to flip it around and look at the eye, and I bet you it's a double eyelid. Bam. Chucky knows his stuff. Yay! So this is one of the doubled eyelids. So this is a doubled eyelid, double die obverse for Mr. McBride. And it's coin number 44. So we get Mr. McBride's coin ready. We're going to draw for coin number 45. And we got 6 coins left in the roll. Coin number 45 goes to Mr. McBride as well. Well, let's see what's in this one. Interesting that it's nothing. Appears to be normal. Keep taking a look around some of these other design elements and see. Nothing on the obverse. And let's see, on the reverse we have what appears to be nothing. Normal coin for Mr. McBride. 5 coins left in the roll. I'm going to be called to dinner here real soon, so I'm going to have to go as soon as the broadcast is over. We'll come back and hang out later. Levels of Madness gets this one. What about number 14, Coin Junkie? Let's see what we got here. It appears to be another normal coin. Is it? No, it's not one of the doubled eyelids. Not a double die. That's right, doubled eyelid and a baby doubled T is what we were getting on those. I bet all of them are going to look the same like that. All the doubled eyelids are going to have that little thing on the T. I just kind of put that together in the last 10 or 15 coins or so. So coin number 46 is going to be a normal coin going to Levels of Madness. Let's draw to see who gets coin number 47. Hello, AZ Coins, I'm doing fine. Levels of Madness gets this one as well. We got 4 coins left in the roll. This is the first out of the last 4 coins in the roll. I started this one upside down so we can see if maybe that changes our luck a little bit, because here lately we've been getting little and nothing out of these rolls. Or out of this roll. These rolls. Out of these coins. I'm thinking about dinner. It's a surprise. I don't even know what we're making today. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be good, though. Got nothing going on here. Nothing up my sleeve. We got a normal coin for Levels of Madness. It's going to be coin number 47 in the roll. A normal coin for Levels of Madness. Miss Penny Parent, I will be taking photographs of these die varieties a little bit later on so that we can work on attributing them together. Levels of Madness gets number 48 in the roll. It's going to be an after dinner thing, though. This is one of those. It has that die scratch that goes straight across with a little bit of the doubling on the top of the mint mark. And let's see, there's a heavy die scratch between the 6 and the 3 of the date. So nice, it's a repunch mint mark. It is again one of the others that we've been finding in this roll. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick and make sure that we didn't change dies. They do that sometimes. Maybe minting along with a repunch mint mark or a double die obverse or something, and you check a coin and, well, it's got nothing on the reverse, so you just decide, well, none of these are going to have anything on the reverse, so you quit checking the reverse, and later you find that they changed the reverse on you to a double die. Dana gets the next one. 49, next to the last coin in the roll. What do we have? There's another one. There's a lot of those repunch mint marks in this roll. But this is another one of those RPMs. A little bit of lamination going on at the rim down there. Let's see. And as expected, nothing else on the coin. Here's your die scratch coming out of the top lip and out of the straight of the nose. And Dana gets coin number 49, which is an RPM. I may have some listing to do. It is possible. And for those who have been participating of recent past in the other rolls that I've done, I do have some dies to list that will have your names on them. Mr. Dowdle gets the final coin in the roll. Interesting looking reverse on this because it was sitting against a piece of cardboard. Well, we have, this is rubber. This is galvanized rubber that comes off of the counting wheel. And what happened is this coin got stuck in the counting machine and the counting wheel abraded it. And that could very well be because this was the first or last coin in the roll. It would have to be the first coin in the roll. And so what happened was they counted out a 50 coin roll and the machine stopped and it just kept dragging on this coin. And then they hit the button to start another 50 coin roll and this one dropped in first. But the interesting part of this coin is not what's on the obverse, but look at this. Look at the colors. There's all kinds of colors on this coin. It looks a lot more colorful if you look at it more like this. Let's see. Get it tilted toward the light there. See? What a nice color on that coin. That's the roll ender. It's the last coin in the roll. And it belongs to Mr. Dowdle. Did he get the first one too? No, Bulldog got the first coin in the roll. Bulldog probably didn't even see that because I don't think he came along until after. Let's go back and look at Bulldog's coin and see what coin number 1 had to hold for us. There's the reverse. That was the one sticking out. Interesting bit of toning going on there. Was this one? Yeah, it was. This is one of the RPMs. So you get an RPM with a toner reverse. Any way to get it off? You know what? You're not hurting anything if you try. So you give me permission and I'll try to get that stuff off for you. I've got a couple of different things I can use to try to get it off. But there's our 50 coins. And that's the broadcast. Acetone will do it, but you have to rub the coin. I prefer to use xylene for that. So I think xylene will take it off. Goo Gone is also pretty good at dissolving rubber, but the rubber will have an opportunity to scratch the coin as you're taking it off if you're not real careful with it. So I'll give it a shot and see what happens. I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great time, have a great evening, and good luck searching and have fun collecting. And don't forget that we will have another broadcast tomorrow. And our broadcast tomorrow will be the 1946 S roll. It's going to be a special roll. So I want you guys to all tune in tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow afternoon. And I'll see you then.